Hey there, Trisha with Upcycled Stuff. Today I'm going to show you how to make these tiny little trinket boxes out of soda cans. So you'll see here, this one here, I've actually used some paint on the inside of the can. Put a little embellishment of a flower. This one here, I didn't do any painting, I just kept the Coke, part of the Coke label on the lid so that it had a little bit of color to it. And you can do that either way. So I'm going to show you your basic supplies and then I'll show you your optional supplies depending on how you want to decorate. So to make the basic simple box, all you need are 2 pieces of your soda can that are exactly the same size and square. So from a standard size soda can you can get about 3 1/4 inches by 3 1/4 inches. So you're going to cut those both the same size. You need some kind of glue that will hold together shiny substances. Super glue works very well, and I really like this one. It has a brush on it so you can maintain control of that glue, keep it from getting everywhere. This is a scoring tool, but you don't necessarily need a special tool. You can use a bamboo skewer or a chopstick if that's what you have laying around the house. It works just as well. You'll need a pair of scissors, a piece of felt to do your scoring on. Anything scrap that's laying around the house is fine. And then a straight edge, preferably, you know, with a ruler on it so that you can measure out some lines and make them the right size. Additionally, for any kind of decorating that you want to do, there's some optional supplies. So the flower that was on the top of my box I cut from a soda can. I used a die cut machine, but you can cut it by hand as well. You'll need an eyelet to set that with, so one little eyelet. And to set it, you'll need the eyelet setter, which is this little doohickey here. It has the tools to do the hole punching and then the ones to set the eyelet as well. If you want to color your metal, you'll want to use some sort of an alcohol ink. It dries really quick and it adheres very well to the metal. So those are your optional decorating supplies. Let's go ahead and get started with your basic box. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your 2 exactly the same size squares and you're going to trim one of them. Very, very slightly on 2 sides. This is going to be your bottom piece. It'll be a little bit smaller than your top one so that they fit together nicely. You can measure it out if you want to, but it really is just a sliver. And I typically use a paper cutter to cut my metal so that I make sure I have nice straight lines. So you can use scissors if you want to. Otherwise, just stick it under the paper cutter. I apologize if you're hearing a lot of noise. It's the first beautiful day here in New England and I have my doors and windows open and I hear kids screaming in the background. It's okay, that means spring's coming. Okay, so now this is your bottom piece. You want to be careful not to get them confused. But you're going to treat each box piece the same way for most of it. So I'm going to show you how to do the bottom piece and then I'm going to show you what you do differently to the top piece, okay? So on your bottom piece, once you've trimmed it, you're going to score a line along all 4 sides that's 1 inch from the edge. So you'll just mark 1 inch and then make your line, and you can line up the side of your straight edge if it's big enough along the side of your can to make sure that your line is straight. Okay, so you'll have this little score line going down your soda can. And now you're going to do that down this side and along each of these sides so that you have a piece that looks like this. Okay? Once you've done that, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut from this corner to the corner where the 2 lines are that you scored. And you're going to do that in all 4 corners. Be careful not to go inside your box, otherwise you'll have a box with a hole in it. And try to be a little bit more precise than I'm being right now. I can't seem to get that to be head straight to the corner. Alright. Now once you have those pieces cut, you're going to fold over towards the inside each one or every other one of these tabs. So you'll bend this one over along the score line, try to keep it straight with the top, and then crease your seam, okay? Skip that one and flip this one over. Okay, skip this one and flip this one over. Skip this one and fold this one over. Okay, so you have a piece that looks something like this. All right, now you're going to start creasing on the bottom of your box, the edges along the bottom of your box, and then also on these little tabs. Now these tabs are going to go to the inside of your box. So you can fold it in and just give that corner a little pinch so it gives a nice shape to the box. Okay, you don't want to fold them in too far, but alright, one more. Alright, now you're going to take your super glue and you're going to adhere it in two different places, right? So the place where you fold it over and creased it so that it sticks to the side of the box, and then behind this piece so that it all sticks together. Now you could forego this piece on the inside, but I find that when you get your box folded up, it leaves, it just separates from the box and it looks kind of unfinished. I mean, it is a box made out of a soda can, but still, you know, can make it look pretty. Okay. So essentially, you've now folded your box and glued it all together. It's not popping out. Looks good. And you're going to go ahead and do this on all sides. And you shouldn't get too much glue sticking to your fingers. Although you might leave some skin behind on your box. Alright, so you're going to do that on all four sides. We almost have a completed box here. You guys must be really amused. I can only imagine what the background noises sound like here. Just couldn't help myself. Okay, so you can then, if you need to, trim a little bit. If you feel like you need to, you can also file with a metal file along the box, just to make sure, but it's not that bad. I imagine if you're cut by it, it's more like a paper cut than anything. Okay, so here's the bottom of your box, okay? So you're going to take your second sheet that you did not trim, and you're going to score it in the same fashion that you did for your bottom. Then you're going to make another score. So this right here is the 1 inch score line. Okay, you're going to go around, you're going to make a 1/2 inch along all four sides. Okay, you're going to cut those. And that's so that you don't do what I did on the first one. You end up with a box that's the same size, the lid and the box, so that you're really grabbing to try to get it open. So you're going to go through and you're going to cut off. You don't have to cut a 1/2 inch, you can cut just a little bit, you can cut more, whatever is comfortable to you. So just cut off all four sides. Okay. And then before, you're going to do the same thing on this box. You're going to cut the corners and fold them in and glue them down like you did for the bottom of the box. But before you do that, if you want to add your embellishments, this is the time to do it. I think it's a little bit easier to work with while it's a flat piece of metal. I don't think it's too restrictive if you want to wait, but let's just show you how to do that now real quick. So once you take your eyelet center, just find center, and there's obviously a more precise way to do this, but I don't typically have that much patience, so You're going to punch 3 times. And then you're going to need to give that a little push through to get that circle out. Sometimes it takes a little bit more than 3, but I think my tool is actually is not working as well as it used to. Okay. Then you can take your flower. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to punch your hole in the center. Yeah, my tool's not working very well. Ooh, and I got so close to the edge. I hope I don't tear that. Alright, we're going to cut that. So you want to try to make sure you're working with sharp tools. I don't think there's a way to sharpen them, so I'm going to have to get a new bit, I think. Alright, and then you're going to put in your eyelet setter. It looks like it has a flower on it. You're going to take your grommet. Oops. Your eyelet, your grommet, they're really the same thing, I guess. And then you're going to put it through both the top and the bottom, the flower and the top piece. Take your eyelet center and then hit that 3 times. Ooh, that didn't do very well. There we go. And there it is. It sets that very nicely for you. And then you'll do the same thing. Cut your edges, fold them in, and then you'll end up with a 2-part box like this. And voila. Bigger boxes can be made with bigger cans, obviously, and I think I'm going to start playing with this to try to get bigger boxes with bigger pieces glued together. I don't know if that's going to just be too much of a mess and too much work, but have fun with it. If you come up with any really cute boxes, head over to my Facebook page and post a picture so we can all see it. Thanks.